Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, how about giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel to help us grow, and perhaps even check out our Patreon. Today I'm out in my Dennis RS130 as we make our way across Suffolk to go and visit the Leiston Long Shop, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary, and today yours truly is the driver of the resident Steam Locomotive Sirapite. And as part of the celebrations, I've been asked to take the fire engine along. So this is very much a first for me. I've never taken the fire engine to do a turn on a steam engine before. And whilst Dupes has made appearances at other heritage railways in the past, there's always something special about being asked to go and attend an event, and particularly to have the machine on display for all to see. Being a good hour and a half away from my base, this was also the furthest I'd taken Dupes in some time, and it was really good to have the chance to get out there and stretch her wheels. As we trundled into Leiston, long-time viewers of the channel will remember that we've been here before, when my 48 became the first diesel ever to run on the Leiston Works Railway, and was the first locomotive to travel on the recently relaid line, and the first locomotive to go up and down this millennium. And if you want more on that, click up there for the full video. But this is different to the Leiston Long Shop, which it turns out has quite a narrow driveway, particularly when there is a steam engine parked in the way. But by throwing Tom out to be an extra set of eyes, we managed to squeeze our way past. And having parked up, it was time to do some light removals work to clear a space for the RS to sit, so it wouldn't be in the way of any of the visiting or home-based steam engines as they trundled about the yard, which of course meant doing a 180-degree swing and backing it up into the newly formed space. With the truck parked up, it was just the matter of rearranging the furniture and we could get on with what we were actually here to do. And that, of course, was Sirapite. Sirapite is works number 6158 of 1906 and was built by Aveling and Porter, and what's particularly relevant about this engine is this is the work shunter that was used by Garrett's when they were producing full-sized engines. It arrived at the Long Shop in 1929 and worked for 33 years before it was replaced with a battery shunter. She entered preservation as part of Sir William McAlpine's collection, yes, the Sir William who used to own my Ruston 48, although this was left in an unrestored condition. But before we could do anything with this engine, we had to go sign on.
What are you saying about my jeans?
Mind you, they could be brand new by
These are trendy, my friend. These came from the
you buy new ones.
trendy shop.
And having signed on, it was time for me to go and get changed. And looking more the part, we returned to the shed to have a look at our beast. The first stage was to have a look inside the firebox, and although Tom was going to be the fireman for the day, I still wanted to assure myself that everything was fine. And then I put Ben to work cleaning the tubes. This was going to be Sirapite's first running of the year, so cleaning the tubes was a really good idea. And it is a hard and dirty job, which is why I was just watching. By this point, Tom had finished cleaning the firebox, so came over to help put the smokebox door back on the front. Because of the way the buffer beam is on this, you have to lift it off and then place it back on rather than it swinging out. The steamroller had got a fire in it already and was starting to make signs of life, but that was significantly further forward than we were. But now we were ready for Tom to light his fire.
Start doing stuff.
Okay.
Oh, it's on fire!
I'm being strangled by my own stuff. My stick is on fire now. We have a fire now.
Apparently you have a penchant for pyroman.
It's like pyromania, absolutely. Perfect job for them.
And whilst Tom was busy building his fire, I was busy too, chatting to visitors who had come to visit the museum. In the time it had taken me to chat, the fire had caught and Sirapite was starting to wake from its hibernation, which meant it was time to start doing some oiling up. And today I was going to be taking Ben through the preparation of Sirapite, starting underneath and then working our way up top to where all the motion is, because this thing is effectively a traction engine on railway wheels, which has a geared drive going down to the wheels. By the time we'd finished, we were getting quite hungry. And that, of course, meant it was time for the old traditional bacon sandwiches cooked on the footplate. And whilst I ate and chatted to a fan of the channel, Tom continued cooking and, once he'd finished doing that, filled up the bunker with more wood for the day's running. With nothing else to do but to wait for the thing to generate pressure, Ben and Tom decided to go and have a look in the long shop itself. The building was constructed in 1852 as the first purpose-built flow-line assembly workshop for the manufacture of a portable steam engine. It consists of an open central area and then the fitters' galleries on the level of the first floor. When this building was built, this revolutionised the way that workshops could operate. And it's amazing that the thing is still standing and with us today, housing a museum showcasing Garrett's illustrious past. By the time the guys returned, we'd almost got steam up, but they made up for their misgivings by bringing some ice creams with them. And as soon as we'd finished eating the ice creams, we were ready to move off shed. And yes, that was a full line run. This may be the shortest operating section of standard gauge railway in the entire country. It was laid so Sirapite could continue to operate at its home, and it's near enough on the original track bed of where the railway once ran. And to have this trundling around where it used to work is simply magic. Sharing the cab with the motion is also quite an experience, as it throws the oil everywhere, including the roof and you.
I think that's quite close.
So I'd be disappointed if you didn't hit them at least once today.
I don't want to hit them, I just want to be close.
Kiss.
Yes, I want to kiss them out of it. That is quite close, isn't it?
We were the first train to operate on the railway this year, as the Longshop had only just reopened following the culmination of a big resurfacing project. Sirapite into steam just in time, because the ceremony marking 40 years was just about to start.
It falls to me, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be in situ at this museum as it turns 40. So we are about to unveil a little plaque to commemorate the fact that the museum has made it this far, and we hope that it marks the beginning of a further 40 years at least of this place embracing and explaining and advertising the wonderful things that have and continue to happen in this town.
And they dared to do an awful lot here. I mean, an awful lot of what went on here was very, very new. I mean, the first assembly line in the world. It's extraordinary what went on here in Leiston. Congratulations to all of you. Here we go. Oh, there we are.
And there was indeed cake to mark the occasion, which was dutifully brought up to us, the loco crew, so we could enjoy it as well. And then it was back to running trains. As Tom had been on top of the fire all day, I decided it was time to start his driver training and gave him control of the regulator. Tom was pretty good, so I said as long as he looked after his fire, he could share driving duties with me for the rest of the day. And Dupes wasn't the only visitor in attendance. There were a couple of steam engines that had come along for the anniversary. There was my friend Stuart, who had brought along his Stanley steam car, which is powered by a frankly ridiculous 500 psi boiler. There was also this steamroller built by one of my favourite companies, Leiston and Hornsby, which was being looked after by grandfather and grandson, which was a lovely thing to see the next generation coming through already. From the home fleet was the Garrett Suffolk Punch steam tractor, designed to take on the internal combustion tractor and failed quite dramatically, and the steamroller, which originally was exported off to Spain. And by this point, we'd started to offer rides on the footplate of Sirapite. And quite a line of people had formed, all wanting footplate rides. So we obliged. The highlight of my day, however, was taking this gentleman for a footplate ride. This was Mr. John Garrett, the oldest surviving direct descendant from the Garrett family that once owned Sirapite and the whole of the long shop. Being able to take him out on his family's engine was absolutely fantastic, and I was so proud and honoured to be the driver who was able to do just that. And after his ride, we had great natter about his legacy, the company, and the future of preservation. It's bonkers to think that this man is the descendant of the owners of this company that built so many engines, some of which we could still see today. And having finished our chat, I took the opportunity to go and check the motion and make sure all of the oil levels were acceptable. And satisfied, we went back to running trains. And to say thanks for his efforts in cleaning the tubes and doing the oiling up this morning, we made sure that Ben also got a go on the regulator. Giving rides kept us busy, and all too soon it was the end of the day and the exhibitors started to go home. Also managed to blag themselves a ride on the Joker as it made its way back down towards its shed. And then all that remained for us was to put Sirapite back inside its shed, which is no mean feat, because the shed is literally a couple of foot longer than Sirapite, so managing to get it in there without going through the far end of the shed is quite a tricky little manoeuvre to pull off. So with that, that's the end of the day. The engine's back in the shed. We are the last people on site, as usual, because not only have we been playing engines, we played engines after everybody went home. So now, Tom's driving, and it's time to go back home. As I'd struggled to wind the RS down the narrow driveway in the morning, I figured that Tom, with all of his daily HGV experience, would have absolutely no problem in driving the comparatively little fire engine out from the long shop. However, even with all of his HGV experience and the more advanced license than me, Tom proved that you can still well and truly muck it up. To be fair to Tom, I did promise I wasn't going to put that clip in the video, but there we go. And having successfully navigated our way out from the long shop, we could begin the long trip back home to the shed. It had been a good day. Despite the weather, we'd stayed pretty dry, and for the way home, the sun came out and we enjoyed a summer's evening. With that, we've returned back to the shed with the big red thing, and thus completes a first. Never before have I taken this to do a turn at a railway, and that's genuinely exciting to turn up in the show vehicle, have it as part of the celebrations of the long shop's 40th anniversary, and then bring it home again. So it's been a lovely day. It's been wonderful to be out on Sirapite again. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see it on its own Lawrie Goes Loco. Obviously it's rather limited what we can do with it there, but it's been lovely to be back on that. It's been lovely to show the truck off, and it's been lovely to be part of such a massive occasion. If you want more information on the long shop, then their website is in the video description. And with that, if you have enjoyed this, how about clicking somewhere over there for something related, or down there for some more fire engine goodness. And with that, it's time to stick it back in the shed and go home. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, home time. Another trip that it successfully undertook. I know, I'm amazed as well.